Swing the iron like Samson, I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert. Another cop can stretch the nigga. He ain't thieving, this an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that open blood, then you know I'm gonna get active with you. From the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers can they spin, now I ain't listening. Is effective. If revenge was a woman, now I scope that bitch like Jake. So I walk, we gon' run the summer. It's gonna be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. As we run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't be do that. Bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young baby. How you real trigger know them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? When he saying something, I ain't hear him. This shit like it ain't on who got the gun, it's on who gon' up that pipe first. I turn a bad situation to a game change. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain. Bring shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand and feet, so you don't never get that hand back. He bitching about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. A certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, I with that hollow sign, yeah, this the real McCoy. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still up on my bread, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get it, boy, lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
Don't have messed up, no. Bad news is to beat your home, nigga. Yeah. Go on, get on that ass real quick one time. 144, baby.
They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, me whole court. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this Lord, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our core. Wait up, let me make a call right quick. I'ma start another war. I was hurting when she left, but I don't care about anymore. I need a Vaselina like my Nina Puffer boy. Took a Zach, watch the dark. Matter of fact, like a dart. Any problem, let them come. We gon' snatch they soul like Shang Tsung. Put them out of service, keep them tools like Miss Harvey. Try to hope he's way too late. I'm headed straight to the safe. Throw that one up like a trophy. I'm that nigga, ain't no debate. Throw them boys, we taking notes. Call them up like set the date. This shit a piece of cake. Yeah, my bitches came from Whole Foods. Told them put on that top 3. Then bring me my house shoes. Don't make excuses, make moves. These niggas ungrateful, gotta show them UPK rules. I make hits like I can't lose. They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, the whole court. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this Lord, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our court. Yeah, I just got off the call. I'ma start another war. Spit a plate up with my niggas, get your knife and your fork. They ain't locked in with the count and when you speaking to me far. Yeah, I just took the floor. Ain't no cowards in my campaign. They can't stop the campaign. Tell them bring the champagne. They know I'm a champion. They can see the outcome. Get them niggas bad, got them tied down and outdone. You can't do with them steppers. Niggas been down since day one. We run up the bands, bitch like Dylan. They say you get on, you gon' represent. I said of course. Soon as they pray that beat, I read that bitch just like a horse. Yeah, about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, we whole court. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this low, so that bitch is either or. I told you niggas, you ain't cut like
Hey, Shalom. Shalom, we're going to clap it up. We're going to clap it up. We're going to clap it up. Sorry for a little bit of tardiness. We're doing a little bit of housekeeping, getting things in order. And now we're going to be jumping right in to our evening class. The chariots are God's vehicles. That's what we're going to be talking about this evening. This is the ISUPK. Started out at 1 West 125th Street. We're now under Commanding General Yohana. Commanding General Yohana is the only person right now with the authority and the rank, because he came up through the rank the proper way to teach the blacks, the Native Indians, and the Hispanics the Bible, to teach you your actual history, to teach you about who you are, and to guide you back to the Most High. And I thank Commanding General Yohana for holding on this truth until I found my way in. It's been a long time. I'm 64 years old now. I just been into the truth. I'm just 2 years old. Gonna be 3 in April. So, Yahweh, it's good. Okay, so we're gonna Yahweh Shema, Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatah to the brother, Yahweh Shema Al-Tam by Hashem, Yahweh Shai to all the sisters. We're gonna look at the scriptures. We're gonna talk about them, and if you have any questions, I know people are telling me they're viewing this after the fact. So even if you have a question after the fact, send me a question in the ISUPK at Gmail. You could send me a communications right there with your question. And I go live Thursday at 6, Sundays at 6. And if you could get into the comments and you could have a dialogue. And my captain should be present at times to help with answering questions. So you will get all your questions answered. If I can, someone at ISUPK got an answer for you. There's no questions that the ISUPK don't answer from the Bible. It's all in the Bible. So, and if you find your way, once you find your way in here, you'll see how practical and simple the Bible actually is. So we're going to talk about so what do people normally say about unidentified flying objects? People are saying they see in a lot of them. You have a lot of sightings. You have a lot of reports. You have the pilots saying that they saw something. You have all of this that's going on. But what we also notice is that the Bible also speaks about these unidentifiable objects in the sky. But the Bible has something to say about it, and we're going to go into that in a minute. We're going to look to see what the Bible says about these objects that are going to be in the sky, and a hint on what they're going to be doing when you see them in the sky. Now, why are we being introduced to these objects now? Well, some say they could be some of the technology that the different countries are trying. That's what you're seeing. You're seeing these things that are unidentifiable because they're doing these testing on things that you don't know about. So when you see them, they look strange to you. You've not seen them because everything looked, as we knew, everything either looked like a balloon or some sort of spacecraft or even aircraft. So if anything comes up different than those, it's abnormal to us. So as far as we're concerned, they're unidentified phenomenon. Like unidentifying, I think that's what the UAPs now what they call them. So that's what we see. So when we see these things in the sky, they can be a whole plethora of things. Different countries, they say they have weather balloons. They say Russia, I think some time ago, Russia had a balloon that floated all the way into America, where it was floated so far into America, it was some concern that I think it was the Chinese or the Russians, one of them. The balloon floated so far that it was a concern that it wasn't noticed or identified prior to it got so far in. So we see these things in the air that are unidentifiable to us. Balloons, aircraft, things in the night, you see lights, and what are they? But we're going to look at what the Bible says about the UAPs, UFOs, and we're going to talk about that because at some point there's going to be a return of these unidentified flying objects. But you're going to know what they are. You're going to know because you're going to be following the signs. You're going to be in here. You're going to be in here, and you're going to be taught properly by the men in ISUPK who were trained under Commanding General Hanna. So you wouldn't be surprised when you see these things. You actually be in anticipation. Okay, you would be anticipating these what others are going to be all fearful about, and others are going to want to take up arms and fight against these, which is going to be your salvation and my salvation. Okay, so we're going to start in Zechariah chapter 5, and we're going to read the first verse. We can read 1 through 4. So Zechariah 5, 1 through 4. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubit, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubit. Then said he unto me, This is a curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For every one that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it, and every one that sweareth shall be cut off on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, said the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of the house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. So now what are we reading about? We're reading about, believe it or not, we're reading about the chariots. We're reading about the vehicle that, and it may sound, this may be the first time you've heard it, we're talking about the vehicles on which Christ is going to be returning. And God sent Christ back. And you may not realize it, Christ was taken up in a chariot. And the Bible said the same way he was taken up is going to be the same way he returned. And so right now, he's going to be returning in a chariot. So this is the description of the chariot. So we're going to look at this now. Okay. Now, the prophet is telling you, and I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. A flying roll. I saw a documentary where they said the unidentified object looked like a flying TikTok, right? It's like a oblong shape, rounded at both ends. That's what the pilots in the plane were saying. The prophet is saying it looked like a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. Now they're going into the description of the flying roll. It tells you the length. The length thereof is 20 cubic, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubic. Okay, so giving you the description. See, that's how long it is. That's how wide it is. Then he said unto me, This is a curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. This is a curse that goeth forth over the whole earth. Now, this is a chariot that the Lord has sent to the earth. And now, this is a curse. So, what is this curse all about? who's being cursed? What is this curse for? This curse is going over the whole earth. Let's see if we could get an understanding what this curse is all about. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it. Everyone that stealeth. Now, if you know, remember the who is God's most precious jewel. Israel. Was Israel at any point stolen? Think about it. Israel was stolen. Israel was stolen from the African continent and brought over to, but when I say Israel, we know it wasn't the whole 12 tribes, okay, at that point. But the 2.5 tribes were taken into slavery via the transatlantic slave trade, sold by the Africans to the Edomites, and then transferred over to as both of them being our enemies, sold and sent. So stolen by force, because as someone said, there wasn't a cruise ship that came over to Africa, to the continent, to the African continent, the land of Canaan, to the continent that we call Africa now. It wasn't a cruise ship that came over. It was a slave ship. Actually, it was a cargo slave ship. So the intention was to bring slaves back. The Africans rounded up these people who migrated from north and then sold them to our enemies, which both were. Okay, so we move on. So that's the description, and that's the curse. The curse was because of he who stealeth shall be cut off on one side, and he who sweareth is only describing the oppressor who stole and whatever things he had to say to cause us to be brought over. Hey, Shalom, young man. I'm already into the class, so you can just listen up. If you have any questions, and I could get back to the class just in case you have any questions. If not, I'll continue on with my lesson. You're muted, so if you don't have any questions, I'll just continue on. Okay. All right. So,
No
Shalom.
question. No question.
You have a question?
Salam. Salam. Salam.
You have a question?
No. No question.
Okay, I'll continue. So we're talking about the chariots that will return, and we're talking about the curse. Now, is Zechariah 5:3 is where I'm reading right now. The book of Zechariah, chapter 5, verse 3. Then said he unto me, This is a curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For every one that stealeth shall be cut off. So this curse now is going over the earth, and we're reading how when these chariots return, these chariots, which are the vehicle which Christ, when Yahweh sends, when God sends Christ back to the earth to now set up his government, this is how it happens. Christ is going to return in these chariots, and we're reading about the chariots now. The chariots return, and we're going to see as we go into these, we'll see when the chariots return what other things happen. The chariots just don't return, but the chariots bring Christ back, and we're going to read more about it. Okay, so now this is just starting out to give us a description of the chariot. It give us it first. It says a flying roll, so now we know it's a flying object, and they give us a description with the length. So the length was 20 cubic, and the breadth was 10 cubic. So it give us the length and the breadth, and then it says, now this is. And he said unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the whole earth. Now, what curse? We're talking about God have a special set of people who were stolen. So this, so he that stealeth, and this is what it's talking about right now. He one that stealeth shall be cut off. So they stole us and sent us to this part of the earth, and that's where we are right now in this topic. So now I'm going to jump down to another scripture, Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 16. Go back. Ezekiel chapter 1 and verse 16. We're talking about, our topic today is chariots are God's vehicles. Okay, so we're on chariots now. We're going to talk a little more about the chariot. Ezekiel 1 and 16. And the appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of a beryl. This is just telling you the color of the wheel. Okay, the exterior color to look at. And they four had one likeness, and the appearance of their work was as it were a wheel in the midst of a wheel. You remember this? As a youngster, they used to have a lot of alien things with flying saucers. You have this flying saucer which was circular shape, and it moved, like the outside moved and the inside didn't always move. So that's a good example of how this is saying the wheel in the midst of a wheel. They have, this wheel, this circular thing moving, and the center is separated from the center. So it looks like two different wheels, the wheel in the middle of a wheel. And they went upon their four sides, and they turned not when they went. So now you think about let's look at a car. As a car is driving, a car drives forward. And when a car wants to change direction, the car turns its wheel to go left, or turns its wheel to go right. Or if the car needs to turn to go in the opposite direction, the car have two options. The car either turn the wheel and come all the way around, make a 180 circle, or it have the option to reverse. Now, what this is saying is, when they went upon their four sides, and they turned not as they went. So we're looking at this, we're thinking about the chariots now. The chariots are moving. The chariot is moving in a direction, and the chariot is going forward in this direction. And then for some reason the chariot doesn't turn to go to the left, or doesn't turn to go to the right. It just goes that way, or it just goes to the left, or it goes to the right. So it's not like it have a front and a back where it have to turn around to go that way like how a car does. These chariots go in any direction. That's what it says. It go to four sides, and they turn not. So they just go that way. And the truth is, if you think about the sci-fi films that you may have watched, you would see them mimicking the same things. You would see them mimicking their spaceships going back and forth, side to side, up and down, in all of this direction without turning. And so this is what this Bible is describing. And this is where people have read this Bible, and they make these things up in Hollywood. So as for their rings, they were so high that they were dreadful, and their rings were full of eyes round about them four. So this is just describing the exterior, how the chariot appears to be from the outside. And now it's going to talk about something a little different. And when the living creatures went, the wheels went by them. And when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up. The living creatures seem to be operating the chariots. The living creatures are, are angels operating these chariots. Now, think about it. The angels are operating the chariots. And so, whithersoever the Spirit was to go, they went. Thither was the Spirit to go, and the wheels were lifted up over against them. For the Spirit of the living creature was in the wheel. So basically what this is saying, that wherever the Lord wanted this chariot to go, that is where it went. Wherever the Lord deemed that this chariot should go, that's where the chariot went. Now we see what the initial scripture said, that move, if it's a curse, move it over the whole earth. So this curse was now, and if you think about how it all is going to come together, this curse now move it over the earth for him that steal it. And now this is also giving us a description of the chariot itself and of the living creatures, which is the angels. It's given us that description also. Okay, so yeah, I'm just talking about where the direction is going. We're gonna jump over to Isaiah chapter 66. Isaiah 66 and verse 15. Hey, Shalom says, Yahweh Shemayel Tamba Shemayel Shai. If you got any questions, you could come off the mic and ask your questions. We're talking about chariots today. If not, I'll just continue on with the lessons. We're talking about chariots. Our topic is chariots are God's vehicles. And we're currently in the book of Isaiah, chapter 66. We will be reading the 15th verse. Now, we're still talking about the chariots. I said that the chariots are God's vehicles. I said the chariots move without turning. So if you think, like I said, if you think about the UFOs, and now they call them UAPs, if you think about them, how they depicted them in the film, you have a good idea how they move. So they just go whichever direction they want to go. They don't really have a front, a back, like that, to turn around to go forward or to turn around to come back. If they wanted to go to the left, it doesn't turn, it just go to the left. If you wanted to go to the right, it doesn't turn, it just go to the right. If you wanted to go forward, like I say, just go forward or just go the other direction without turning. Like how a car must turn to go in a specific direction. So now we're going to be reading Isaiah 66 and 15. Isaiah 66 and 15 say, For behold, I will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, and render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. This chariot now, this is talking about Christ's return. When God sent Christ to return to establish his government, this is what this is talking about, Christ's return. And so on Christ's return, this is what happens. He's gonna come in a chariot. It's gonna be like, he'll come with fire in a chariot like a whirlwind. So it ain't gonna be no small feat. It's gonna be spectacular. And so when he comes, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. And verse 16 of Isaiah 66 says, For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh. and the slain of the Lord shall be many. So what is it saying? When the Lord comes back, many people are going to be put to death by the sword. Many people will be put to death by the sword. That's what it's talking about. Now, I want to read this other scripture to you. I'm so happy this one comes right here. Now, this is when the Lord returns. This is when the Lord returns. This is what we're saying, right? When the Lord returns, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. It now goes on to say, they that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the garden behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh, and the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together, said the Lord. So what this is saying now, and the Lord return, then people who can be eating swine's flesh, it shall be consumed together, said the Lord, and the mouse, and any abomination. If you're not following the laws, the dietary laws, because it's right there before our face to follow. So behold, I'm going to read that again. Isaiah 66 and starting from 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire. So when the Lord return, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury. Thou come really, really pissed off? Yes. And his rebuke with flames of fire. You see, it's a time for everything, and the Lord is going to bring an end to this current situation to start the new one. For Jacob is because this current setup is not conducive for what the Lord wants. We have the wrong people in authority. We have the Edomites in authority and not the Israelites. So the Lord must come and change that around, because the scripture says when Jacob is in authority, there'll be no more war. Esau was blessed with the sword. That's just, and this is why the earth is in so much of an uproar and turmoil, because the wrong person is the wrong nation is leading. Now I'm going to read. The wrong nation is leading, and so once that wrong nation continues to lead, basically we following their lead, and so what we see here is, and this is, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and by thy sword shalt thou live. Who are we talking about? And by thy sword shalt thou live. Now you can get a little bit of clarity on this. And by thy sword shalt thou live. So let me, okay, so I'm going to read. I'm in Genesis 27. I just read the first line on 40. I'll go back up to Genesis 27 and 39. And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be in the fatness of the earth, and the dew of the heaven from above. So I was trying to run. Okay, I'll go up to 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And so now I jump down to 40 and say, and by thy sword shalt thou live. So Esau was blessed to live by the sword. And we don't always you don't understand it until you come in here into ISUPK, because Esau is identified as a particular race on the planet, on the earth, and that race is Esau, the Edomite. We break it down and call them simply the oppressor, or we call them they call themselves white. Okay, now those persons, they are blessed with the sword, and if you see that, you think about it. Think about the all right. You graduate from even who made the swords first, they would have perfected it. Who would have made the guns? They would have perfected it. Who would have made a bomb? They would perfect it. Who would made anything to kill with? They would perfect it. They would learn to use it better than anybody on the planet. They are the best killers on the whole earth. If you think about it, if you think about the number, any large number of persons who was annihilated from the earth, more than likely it was the Edomites who did it. If you think about Hiroshima and Nagasaki, it would be the Edomites who did it, right? And large numbers. And I'm not saying that no other nationality would have caused hurt to any other. But if you look at the most, who would be the best, which we would say the best killers on the earth, that goes to one group of people. Look at the people who create these um, weapons of mass destruction. They sell it to other people, mind you, or they'll get other nationalities would have the technique, the technology, the ability to do that, and they would have it built. Even though they may not, all of them may not even have the skill, but they find the skill. Even if they find the skill in Israel, they'll have those things built because they live by the sword. They were blessed to live by the sword. So as they were blessed to live by the sword, that's how God blessed them. So this is how the earth is being run now. The earth is being run by him who was blessed to live by the sword. Now, I've just read that in the Bible where it says, and I'm going to just go touch on it a little bit again so you get clarity. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Now, the story goes, it talks about Jacob stealing the birthright from Esau. But I'll tell you, it wasn't a theft because, number one, the Esau would have sold his birthright. Everybody would remember the story from Sunday school. If you didn't, let me just paraphrase it quickly. Esau was out in the field and Shalom. Salakia for that. Yeah, we're talking about Esau being this perfect this person who has been blessed with the sword, and the whole earth is being basically run by him who was blessed with the sword. And this is why we have so much of this happening all over the earth, because him who leads you, you will be there'll be that sort of spirit in the whole earth. This is why we have these different fightings, different places, these wars going on. The Bible does say once um once Israel is in charge, there'll be no more war. Right now, Esau is in charge. Once Jacob is in charge, there'll be no more war. But Esau is in charge at this point. So we have to be contented with these wars. And Jacob and Esau are different. They are different. Let's see. You remember the scriptures, which says that when Esau was born, and with that, I pass the class over. The priest and captain of 13,000, Captain Nayatak, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Barakatah, sir.
Yeah, how about Shrekha? Thumb, yeah, how about Shemata Bashimashai? All right, so you're on Esau,
Cancer.
right?
Esau to live by the sword,
Right.
and the whole earth seemed to be on the sword.
Yes. So go to Genesis, I believe it's 27 and 40. All right. So start at 27 and 29 first. All right.
Come on. 27 and 29. This is come on. This is
So,
the book
Esau.
of
We know him as Esau today, right?
Come on.
Right. What is his what do they call them? You know what I mean, on earth today? Meaning the oppressor. Every white male, right? They don't say I'm a white man. They say I'm a what?
Well, the Caucasian.
Yeah, Caucasian. That's it. All right. Because why? Where were they first?
Because they originated in the Caucasus Mountains.
Mm-hmm. So go all the way back to Genesis. Genesis, I believe is 3. And let me get it. Let me get with you. Genesis 3, where Cain killed Abel.
Come on.
Let's get that. All right, get where Cain killed Abel. All right. Let me get it for you. All right. All right, go to Genesis, start at Genesis 4 and 5.
Come on. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 5. But unto Cain, unto his offspring, he had not respect. And his offering, Salakia. But unto Cain and his offering, he had not respect.
Right? And the Lord didn't respect Cain's what? Offering. Right? And the Lord don't respect you when you do what? When you take his laws for, you know what I mean, a little thing. For example, how many people you hear when you tell them, according to the Bible, you're not supposed to eat pork? What do they say?
So that's the Old Testament. Done away with.
That's the Old Testament. Until when you corner them, they say what? The Lord knows my what? Heart.
My heart.
Right. Once you corner them and you break down that the dietary law is still in effect and there's no wiggle room to get out of, the Lord knows my heart. Right? Well, this is Cain. Cain disrespected the Lord by doing what? By giving him an offering that the Lord did not tell him to what? To offer him. He went and burned crops when the Lord wanted what? Meat.
Oh,
you understand? Like you can't choose what you're going to give the Lord, and that's the oppressor today. He wants to decide what he wants to give the Lord. He wants to be the decider. That's why he went and created what? A church. Because now he creating what? How you supposed to serve the Lord. The Lord tell you how you want him to, how you want you to serve him. So why you have to go make a religion on how you want people to serve the Lord? You understand? And that's Cain, right? Cain want to offer something that the Lord did not like, right? So he didn't respect it. Read on.
Come on. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell.
Right. He was what? When you mean my wrath?
He was mad.
He was angry. What he was angry about?
He is angry that the Lord didn't respect his offering.
Yes. And how you know the Lord didn't respect his offering?
I'm not sure, sir.
You're not sure.
Yeah, because I mean, I know he didn't respect it, but
right. Where you at right now? You're in Genesis what?
Genesis 4 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
what the Lord said, and the Lord said unto Cain, why are you wroth?
Right. So now, okay. So now you're asking him, why is he wroth? Now you go here. Read.
And why is thy countenance fallen?
Like, what's your problem? What's your problem? You know, it's like, you know what I mean? You with a sister. She not happy, so she leave. And now she angry because what? She angry because what?
Why is she angry?
No, she angry with you, so she what? She leaves you.
She leaves,
right? Now she leaves you, right? For what? What she leave you for? Because she want to be what?
She want to be happy.
She want to be happy, so she leave you. But she end up being what? More what?
More sad.
Yeah, more sad. You understand? And now wants to do what? Proceeds
now
to what? Blame you for everything. Blame you for unhappiness. Blame you. You the reason why this, that, the other. You the reason why I left. You didn't have no time for me. This, that, the other. Right? Read.
If thou dost well, shall thou not be accepted?
Right. So he's saying if you do well, what's going to happen? And I'm going to what?
Accept you.
I'm going to accept you. What does it mean he's going to accept him?
He's going to show him favor.
Okay. Biblically, right? When you read the Bible, right? Okay. And this is a good example too with Job. How you knew the Lord was with Job?
Well, he didn't die.
Okay. But the people around, how they knew the Lord blessed, you know what I mean, blessed him, the Lord was with him.
Well, I mean, Job was a very wealthy man.
Mm-hmm. He had what?
He had
land, he had cattle, he had sheep, right? It was in abundance. Right? So guess what? People see this man living like this and know that what? The Lord is what? Blessing him. Why? Because he is doing what the Lord said to do. That's why when it happened, when he lost everything, what he was questioning?
Questioning whether he did something wrong.
Yeah, but then he started asking the Lord, questioning the Lord. He went, he moved from questioning himself to what? Start questioning what? The Lord. You understand? Right? So Cain had something to compare himself to. Who he had to compare himself to?
He compared himself to Abel, I guess.
Yes.
Can't
And the
say.
Lord what? The Bible said the Lord what? Bless Abel because he what? Liked his what? Sacrifice. Right?
Can't.
So which means what? He's seeing what? Abel what? Prospering. You understand?
Can't say.
He had to work. He had to work and toil hard in that garden just to get them crops.
So lucky, sir.
Come on.
I think I got it now. I think I got
Mm-hmm.
it.
Right?
Can't say.
Read on.
And if thou doest not will,
Mm-hmm.
sin lieth at the door.
And if thou doest not what?
If thou doest not well,
Mm-hmm.
sin lieth at the door.
Meaning what? No, where's the analogy you're trying to paint for you?
It's trying to paint the analogy that if you don't I guess stay in the right,
Uh-huh.
you'll be easily misled into doing wrong things.
Yeah, into being a sinner.
Kind of.
You understand? Sin right at the door. Right there. Meaning you're gonna what? Go open the door and it's gonna be what? Sin standing right there. Why? Because you ain't doing what the Lord tell you to do. And we all know what sinners, what happened to sinners was the end result of a sinner.
They die.
Yeah, death. You understand? That's the end result. Right?
So
Now,
lucky, sir.
come on.
If I may, I mean, this what you're saying, I guess you have to be in here to really appreciate what you're saying. Because until you are born again, you wouldn't even understand the simple thing of what you're saying unless you do well. Sin lieth at your door.
Yes.
It's hard to understand that not being in here.
Yes, because the Christian church turns the Bible into what?
Into a joke.
Not so much. Okay, not so much.
A fairy tale, or that's a story.
Yes, like a Harry Potter story. You're reading a Harry Potter book with mysteries and mystical things. That's why when with the Immaculate Conception, right? When you start breaking it down to a Christian, when the Christian realize he is in a box or he's in quicksand and ain't no coming out, it's a miracle. It's like some magician just, put, sperm in Mary or a baby in Mary and she got pregnant. It's a miracle. Everything becomes a miracle. Whatever the guy explained becomes a what? A miracle. Because it's, it's a book of what? Mysteries and, magical stuff to them. When just put the Christianity aside and, read the Bible. It's talking to black people. It's talking to black people. But if you put it in the hands of the oppressor, when he sees, certain words, you understand? When he see, my cheeks are full of gold, right? He's going to be looking for what? Gold on your what? On your cheeks. When it's just saying what? King David wore what? Gold teeth. You understand? But you will never get that from him because the oppressor, he doesn't speak like us. He doesn't think like us. Doesn't know anything like us. So now this book, he turns it into something what? Like magical. So now all you have to do is what? Sprinkle some holy water on you and the disease is going to leave you or you're going to get healed. All you have to say is the blood of Jesus and look at the cross and you're going to be healed. You wear a cross around your neck, you say the rosary. You pray to Mary. right? And you're
Oh,
gonna
God.
you'll be just fine.
So okay, so
Come on.
yeah, this scripture just did something to me, sir. Um, if thou dost well, shall thou not be accepted?
Yeah.
And so with this, as you break it down, like
Hmm.
like the captain has said, it's like this is nuclear. It just hit my
Hmm.
spirit and say it's so much that we have to do well. We must do well,
Hmm.
because if we don't do well, sin lieth at the door.
Yes. And sin equals what? Death.
Death.
You understand? And that's what been going on with black people right now. You know what I mean? We opening the door and the sin right there. So guess what? Your loved one's not making it back home. Your loved one just went to the store to buy, you know what I mean, some groceries. And before you know it, get pulled over by the police. And you know what I mean, you had to bury him. Here comes the civil rights lawyers trying to get some money while you know what I mean, while you had to bury your loved one. You understand? No, read on. I think skip to verse 6.
Skip 2 verse 6.
Yeah, to verse 6.
And the Lord said unto Cain,
No, skip to 7. Go to 7.
come on. Well, that was 7 that we were in. If thou doest well, shall thou not be accepted?
Good. Go to
And
8.
And Cain talked with Abel his brother.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him.
Read on.
And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper?
Right. So he basically, yeah, I mean, asking the Lord, like, why are you questioning me? I'm not watching Abel all the time. I'm not his keeper. I'm not the man knowing, keeping the checks and balance on where he is. That's not who I am. Are you paying me to do this? Right? And now we all know Cain killed Abel because of what? He was jealous. You understand? He was jealous. Like, it's just like the oppressor. He wants to rule this earth however he wants to rule this earth. But you can't raise your head up. You can't even say you're Israelite. You can't do that. You understand? Cain and Esau, they have what? The same what? Spirits. And you'll see why. Read on.
This is the book of Genesis chapter 4 and verse 10. And he said, what hast thou done?
Mm-hmm.
The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground.
Meaning what? His voice is crying out for what?
Justice.
Yes, that's what that is. That is what it is. Justice. Our forefathers' blood are crying out from where? From the ground. You understand? They're crying out for justice. But then you have these leaders who wants to tell us what? We have to what? Learn to forgive and forget. Yes. Telling us, like, we learn to forget about slavery our whole entire life. We learn to forget. We are taught to forget about the oppression that we went through. And not understanding the reason why we in this state today is because we learned to forget our history. So now, if you don't have anything to compare what's going on today by, then guess what? You will think that what? That you have the same chance like a what? Oppressor.
Sir. And you don't.
Yeah, you don't. If you look 50 years back to now, what progress have we made as a people? If you look 100 years back, now once you start comparing your life today to back then. You understand? Now you start seeing, well, hold up now. We had Black Wall Street. We tried all of these things. But he's still coming and what? Burn the town down. You know what I mean? Unalive people. And now today, if I say I'm an Israelite, he wants to what's the word they're using? Not boycott. What's the word they use now?
Not censor.
Censor. And there's another word they use where they try to get you to lose your slavery. Where they try what's the word they use? Yes, that whole cancel culture. They try to cancel you. They try to go find out where you're working and try to tell your supervisor, oh, he's racist. Well, what the hell are you talking about? I'm racist. I ain't harming nobody. Are we harming anybody? We just can't speak about our history and the crimes that were committed against our people. You tell me we can't even do that? We're not allowed to do that? Well, then I'm a slave. I'm a slave.
So that case, if I may.
Come on.
You know, in the Bahamas, the majority of people, I'm not even sure I could say living from paycheck to paycheck. Because the majority of the people, I don't think their paycheck reaches to the next paycheck.
Boy.
And when you start talking about them, they may talk about the one or the two rich black Bahamians. They don't even realize that we are still in slavery as a people.
Yeah.
They don't realize it.
Yeah, they don't.
No. And they themselves can't pay their bill in there.
Yes. No. Skip to verse 12.
Come on. Genesis chapter 4 and verse 12. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength.
So now, what is he trying to tell Cain? Now it's going to be even worse. Yeah. Now it's going to even be worse for you. It was so bad that, did you know, okay, like what black people don't understand is this. Why were black people enslaved? What was slavery all about?
Slavery was, we were enslaved because we didn't we didn't keep our part of the bargain.
No, not pertaining to the Bible. I'm talking about slavery. How did Europe view slavery? How did the Europe?
Slavery was totally economics. They could use free labor.
Yes. It's just like today. Like right now, what is the economics of today? What drives up? What controls prices? The price of what? Oil and gas. If oil goes up, if gas goes up, what goes up? Food goes up. Everything goes up.
Everything.
Right? It's economics to him. Right? Back then, you were known as what? Property. So guess what? You think you were brought to America by chance if you were a Judite? No. They knew that these people could plant what? Tobacco. They knew these were what? Planters. These were what the Bible called what? Husbandmen. These were planters. These were farmers. These people knew how to plant what? Rice. These people knew how to plant what? Sugar cane, cotton, and brought them across here. And they what? They planted. They reaped the crop. They grow the crop. But who got all the money? The oppressor. You understand? That's why to today, some of them would not even apologize. America has not apologized to the slave, nor give them compensation. Why? Because slavery to them was lawful. It was lawful to have slaves back then. It was lawful. So now you're trying to get reparations today. You're not going to get that today. Why? Because it was lawful. And it was so lawful that when slavery was abolished, so-called abolished, the slave masters, they got what? They got compensated for loss of
Cancer.
property. They the ones got compensated. And I think some slave master up until what, the year 2014, right? Their family got their compensation for slaves back all the way back then. You understand? Which lets you know they have the records. They have all the records. Right? Remember that movie? How many of you saw Roots? You remember
I saw it.
Right? Now, remember, what was his star name?
Kunta Kinte.
Kunta Kinte, right? What did the oppressor make him call himself?
Make him whip him until he call himself Toby.
And now today, what do we call ourselves?
We call ourselves by what the oppressor tell us to call ourselves.
You have a Caucasian first name and a Caucasian last name. Now we don't need to whip. That's to show how much we destroyed.
So that case, if I may.
Come on.
I researched my government name. I thought it was coming from somewhere. I mean, years ago, somewhere in Africa. The thing comes from the middle of England.
Yeah, it's some oppressor that you know what I mean. Last name that you're taking, right? Now, read on. Read verse 12.
This verse 12 was, when thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall thou be in the earth.
What does that mean? A fugitive and a vagabond. What's a fugitive?
A fugitive is like a wanted man.
Somebody who always what?
On the run.
From what?
From the law.
From what?
Others. From whatever he did.
So he running from justice.
From sin, from justice, cancer.
Yes. And who on this earth right now is running from justice? Who on this earth, when you tell them about slavery, they raise their hand and say, I had nothing to do with slavery. Only slaves, I never did, you know what I mean, nothing like that to you all.
The Caucasians.
Yes. He is a what? Fugitive. But now it's saying what? Cain is saying what? I'm going to be what? A fugitive, what? And a what?
And a vagabond.
And a vagabond. What's a vagabond?
A vagabond shall thou be in the earth.
What's a vagabond? Somebody like a what? What you call a vagabond today?
Like a homeless person?
Yes, like a vagrant. Right? Somebody who doesn't have what? A home. You understand? Right? Read on.
Genesis chapter 4 and verse 13. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear.
He said what? My punishment is what?
Greater than I can bear.
Like Cain is like, yo, that's a lot. But Cain ain't worrying his brother in the ground. He worrying about who? Himself, just like who?
The Caucasian.
Yeah. He don't care about nothing else, nothing about himself. You understand? You crying and you marching. Why? Because your loved ones being what? Unalived by these cops. You understand? Unalived by these oppressors who want who like these wannabe cops. You understand? By regular oppressors you've been unalived by. Music too loud in your car, you could die out. You wearing a hoodie, you could die in the wrong, you know what I mean, place. But if it happens to them, now they want the earth to be what? Like, you see what happened to us? Perfect example is what? The Israelis, right? 7, right? The Hamas, right, did some vile thing to their people, right? And they proceeded to do what? Go get what? Justice. for their people. And now it's a full-on genocide taking place.
That's like I said, if I may.
Come on.
And we have the Christians in the Bahamas saying Israel have a right to defend themselves.
Yes. Yes, they're right.
Against the babies.
Yeah. You understand? Which lets you know what? That he doesn't care about anything else but his what? His people.
Can.
You know what I mean? His people. That's why I don't have a what? I don't have nothing, no stake in that war. None whatsoever. Why? Because a war is going on right now in the Caribbean, in North, South, and Central America. It's going on right now against black men, black women, Hispanic men, Hispanic women, and First Nation men and women. You understand? It's going on here right now. So I don't have no stake in that game. But I could use that as an example to what? To show who the oppressor is. Right? Read on.
Come. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid.
Right. And now, if you know the history, right, on these Caucasians, right? Why do they call them Caucasians? Where the word come from? Where's the I think they call it etymology?
From the Caucasus Mountain.
Yes. Just give me 1 minute. Right? So it says the word Caucasian comes from the Caucasus region, a mountain range that runs between the Caspian and Black Seas. You understand? Now, if you know the history of the so-called oppressor, he came down from those mountains and joined the Macedonian army, who were the Japhetic people at that time, right? Now, what happened was once they came out the mountains, that's when they started doing what? Taking over and conquering, until you get to who? Alexander the Greek, where he just what? Went berserk and started conquering mass majority of the earth. And then he what? He died and left 4 generals that split up. You understand? His empire. Right? And they came down, and from thence they started doing what? Gobbling up the earth. You understand? Just gobbling it up wherever they went. Right? Read on.
And I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth, and it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. And the Lord said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold.
What does that mean?
I mean, if somebody killed Cain, the Lord going to do exact vengeance on them.
How much?
7 times.
Sevenfold, yes. Meaning what?
That means if they kill Cain, the Lord can kill 7 of their family members.
7 is just a number, but it's a large number. Meaning
large
what?
Number.
For example, let's go back in history a little bit, like 10 years, right? 9/11. How many Americans died? Let's say about what? 3,000?
Can't say. 3,000.
Right? How many Iraqis died because of 9/11?
Oh, millions. Seeing like a large number.
Sevenfolds. Or let's go some months back with the IDF and Hamas.
Can't say.
Yeah, how much people let's say Hamas killed? About what? 1400.
Cancer.
How many Palestinians are dead right now?
Sevenfold, so.
Yes.
Can.
Understand?
A
Like,
large number.
yes. And because the image he has created, the image which is Cesar Borgia, that image he has created, right? That image of him being the Jew, that image, now you don't see this. No, you can't really see it because of his image. But if you take that away, it's clear to see that he has the what? Read on.
Can. And the Lord said unto him, Therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain.
So with you put it aside, you're gonna see a what? A what?
A mark upon Cain. Lest any finding him shall kill him.
You understand? What's that mark that he left on Cain?
Is that the white skin color, sir?
That's the only people that is known today. If you unalive one of them, your nation is in trouble.
Can.
The entire nation is in trouble. World War I, World War II, III that's coming. All the wars that took place on this earth that you hear about. You understand? Stalin, right? They don't say he was what? Russian, right? But he was just a Caucasian speaking what? Russian.
Can.
You have Hitler. He was a what? German. But he was a what? Caucasian. America ran by what is his name? George Washington, Andrew Jackson. And when the list goes on, these are what? Caucasians. Then you come to who? The Israelis. They are what? Caucasian. That's why they banned doing DNA testing in their country. You have to get a court order to get a DNA test. Why? Because if they go, every one of them go do a DNA test, guess what's going to show? They're about 99% of what? European. You understand? Right? And that's the mark of Cain. That's why they're the only people that do not have what in their skin?
Melanin.
Their pigmentation.
Can.
The only ones. Their blood show forth through their what? Their veins.
Yes.
They're red. Right? And the Lord sets a mark upon them. Like, these are not your friends. These are not, how they call it, these are not your buddies. Right? They're not your homies. They're not. The Bible calls them your enemy. You understand? The Most High say he what? He hated who? Esau.
Can.
Right? Any more to that?
I think that's good, sir.
That's it?
Can, sir.
Okay. Now go back. Go to Genesis now. 27. And I think what is? We could do 27 and 40 just for time's sake. All right.
Can.
You got any questions while Akash go to it? Any questions, young man and Sister Tish?
La, so.
Okay.
La.
Okay.
27. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 27, and verse 40.
Mm-hmm.
And by thy sword shalt thou live.
What? The Lord is telling what? Remember it was what? Jacob and Esau, right? I think it was Isaac, right? Isaac was their father.
Can.
Isaac told them that he was coming up in age. So he wanted to what? Bless the children, right? And Esau, being the firstborn, he was going to do what? Bless Esau. But guess what? Esau had already did what? Sold his birthright to Jacob. And that's your oppressor right there. Your oppressor, he what? He makes a deal only when it's what?
It benefits him.
Yes. Until it does not benefit him, right? Once it benefits him, the deal is on. Once it does not benefit him, the deal is off. You understand? And black people don't understand that. Because black people, we know if we give you a word, what is, how we say it? Word is what? Word is bond.
Word is bond. You
understand? Once we give you a word, hey brother, I'm gonna do this here. You know what I mean? I'm a swing by, pick you up, I'm gonna cut your grass, I'm gonna do this for you. Esau, he gonna do it. He gonna say he gonna do it until it what? It doesn't benefit him. You understand? Right? That's why you see what's going on right now. There's a genocide going on. Remember, he put laws in place. He set up a what? United Nations. He set up a whole organization so that the earth don't go down this path, but it does not what benefit him to keep the rules that he laid down. So guess what? He breaks it. He breaks it. Now he sold his birthright, right? And the birthright, your birthright comes from who? As the Lord, basically. You understand? He set it up like that. But you what? You don't like the Lord, you're disrespectful. You tell the Lord what? You know what? Who cares? I'm hungry. Oh, you want the birthright? Take the birthright. I don't care. Just feed me. You understand? And that's him. Like to him, his belly means everything. You mess with his money, oh boy, his problems, his wars. Wars going to happen messing with his money. You understand? And you ever hear about these young oppressors unaliving their parents just for what? Insurance money?
Cancer.
Right? You see a ton of TV shows with with these kings having these sons, and they were trying to do what? Unalive the father. To the throne. You understand? For wealth. Why? Because he's about what? His belly. All the time. You understand? Read on.
And shall serve thy brother.
Right. And that's what was supposed to happen. Esau was supposed to serve Jacob. And that was already what? Prophesied. Right?
Answer.
The elder shall serve the younger. Good? But that's not what's going on right here today. Today, what? The younger is serving the what?
The
elder.
Come on.
Which lets you know what? This is what? Future what? Prophecy. That the elder is going to serve the younger. He's going to serve the younger. Read.
And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
Right? He's going to what? Break the what?
Break his yoke from off thy neck.
You understand? Like this is the future is coming. And how do you do that? You're going to have to come into the UPK and learn how to serve the Lord. The church not teaching you these things. As far as you know, the church is teaching you to do what? What does the church teach their congregation to do?
It's to sin.
Besides sinning, what do they teach them to do? Like, what's the end result of being a Christian?
I guess they can die in the sin.
Yes.
That.
I'm going to give for time. What you're saying is correct. The end result of being a Christian. Christianity teaches you to accept your abuser. You understand?
Okay.
Teaches you to what? To forgive and accept your abuser. You understand? Teaches you to live in peace. You have to be what? Willing to be what?
Forgiven.
To be in peace, you have to be willing to do what?
To be in peace,
Uh-huh.
you have to be willing to, I guess, to be a slave.
That's it. That's it right there, brother. So to be in peace. Christianity teaching you to be in peace with this man, you have to accept last place. You have to accept the co-star role. Like you actually star in the Bible. But in reality, the church is teaching you that you have to be the co-star. You understand? You had to be the crash dummy. You had to be the one that, you know what I mean, that's going to, you know, basically accept mediocrity. That's what Christianity teaches you. Why you think we couldn't read the Bible? Why you think they took the Bible away from us in slavery? Because when men read it and understood what it was in it, you couldn't accept the position you was in. And who's a good example of that? Not Turner,
sir.
Yes. His whole rebellion was based off of what? Reading the Bible. You understand? When you read the Bible, your place is not last. Your place is what? On top. And now you start what? Working to be on top. So now guess what? You stop smoking cigarettes. You stop smoking weed. You stop doing drugs. You understand? You stop whoring your sisters out. You start doing what the Lord say to do. You start pleasing the Lord. Because why? Your position is not last place. You understand? Not in the earth. You understand? For the wickedness to cease on this earth, Black men and Hispanics and Native Indians have to be in charge. You understand? For all the security that's taking place on the earth, Black men and Hispanic men and Native Indian men have to be in charge. Because the oppressor been in charge for the past 400 years. And the earth has been in turmoil. You understand? Right? Okay. So you any question before I let you all out? Good to go?
Good to go, sir.
So with that, I'm going to pass the class over to Priest and Officer Akashka.
Let's clap it up. The water for your lesson, sir.
What's that in Christ?
We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. These are the security announcements. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to shed themselves of the world. They will be saluted only. After a 6 months period, if a brother or sister have an interest in a particular person, they must get permission from the head to speak to the particular person. After that 6 months period, the brother or sister will get permission to court each other. And after that period, the brothers and sisters get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find that in Numbers 18:21, Malachi 8:3-10. I'm sorry, Salakia. It's Malachi 3, 8-10. And it means tenth in the Hebrew, and it's pronounced Ma'ashira. 10% of every penny of any increase that the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests is not mandatory. Whatever amount you would like to give, you can give. Upcoming Holy Convocation will be the Feast of Dedication, which is also called Hakanaka, which will be Wednesday the 25th of December. Remind Akim and Aquatim to check the social media, which is icpk.com, for ICPK events and material. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he must start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirt, pants, headbands, or scarf. And with that, men of Israel, we say Amadium means to stand. We give one courtesy salute to our teacher, Captain Naita. Say Amadium, Amadium Shabbat, Amadium, Barak, Yahweh Bayashem, Yahweh Shai Barakatah,
Yahabash Meshabaka Thumb.
Ajamatah. With that, we give one salute to the sister, Amadium, Amadium Shabbat, Amadium, Barak, Yahweh Shema Alatam Bayashem, Yahweh Shai.
I think she left though.
Okay, Ajamatah. With that, class is missed.
All right, Shalom Warriors.
Shalom, sir. Yahweh Bayashem, Yahweh Shai Barakatah.
Here's your thumb.